And of course, that forecast takes us right into Memorial Day. And with Memorial Day comes the start of summer. It also brings an unwanted visitor from the tropics, hurricanes. In the Atlantic, hurricane season is the 6 months from June 1st until November the 30th.
A new movie suggests that monster storms caused by rapid climate change could soon decimate our cities. I don't think so, but reality can still be scary.
We're getting wind gusts getting up close to hurricane force.
Last year, there were 16 named storms in the Atlantic Basin. Since 1886, only 6 years have had 16 or more storms.
We've had more tropical storms and more hurricanes in the last 9 years than any other consecutive 9-year period on record. We've also had a lot of major hurricanes. We had 32 major hurricanes over the whole basin.
But amazingly, only 3 have struck land.
So if you look at the odds of this happening again, we're about due for some kind of catastrophic event.
That New Jersey coastline actually scares me. You've got all those beautiful homes there. The development's been tremendous the last couple of decades.
And because of all of that expensive property, New Jersey is working hard to protect the shore.
This is part of the Second Island Shore Protection Program. Started in Atlantic City and it continues through the end of Ventnor here. And basically what they're doing is they're putting a dune system in for shore protection and a bigger beach than what we've usually had here.
The peak for hurricane season is September the 10th. That's when the water is at its warmest. Warm water is where hurricanes get their energy from. So it's very difficult early in the season for big storms to form, especially anywhere near the Jersey Shore, because the water is still so cool.
It's not like a winter storm, which takes 3 to 5 days to get up here. A tropical storm can get up here in 12 to 24 hours and wreak havoc.
We don't need a direct hit for there to be big problems. For instance, Felix back in '95.
It didn't get any closer than 256 miles to New Jersey, but it caused more deaths in this state than any hurricane in many, many years. They were all related to rip current deaths.
It's a tough job to predict what a hurricane will do.
Well, we don't really have a good feel for the steering current, and we're doing everything we can to do something about that.
Dr. William Gray has become famous for his seasonal predictions.
It looks like a active season, much like last
Why is that?
year. Well, we think we're in a new era for these storms.
A normal year means 8 to 11 storms. This year, the forecast is for up to 15. Over the years, the seasonal forecast has shown great improvement because we now look at weather globally.
Effects that occur in opposite side of the globe affect us or can influence us locally within a week or two later.
If a hurricane could impact the shore, don't take the threat lightly.
From a standpoint of having a home and living on the beach, they are killers. And unfortunately, they are killers if you don't listen.
Now, if you'd like more information on getting ready for hurricanes, I've got links to some important websites you might want to check out. It's on the weather page at WB17.com.
Yeah, and listening means leaving when there's that warning out there.
Don't stay there. Many people have lost their lives because they will ride it out, and they just can't. It's going to be another busy year.
Good report. Thank you.
This is what a young teenage boy said in May of 2004, May 22nd, 2004, 1 month before he passed away. Have I done enough? Will it last? And then on June 21st, the day before he died, he said, "Amen, I love you." And his last word, according to his mother, Jenny, was yes. That was his last word, yes. So in honor of this incredible young man that touched my life, touched the lives of a man who was President of the United States, the President called him the most incredible person he had ever met, who touched Oprah Winfrey like almost no one else has. Make yes be the answer to the question, have you called in your pledge? Make yes be the answer. Maddie Stepanik's final word. It'll make you feel good. It's the last few minutes. It's been a tough time for the country the last 10 days. People have been thinking of a lot of different things. What are you going to get to do? Like I mentioned to Pat, you know, I'm sure the person is there. A lot of people are just kind of looking at the phone, but they're not picking it up. What are you going to do? There's the camera right out there. See where that red light is? This is it. This is you and the Delaware Valley, Monica. How are you going to get those folks to pick up the phone?
I would like those people to look at their own children.
So go right to Kirk before he gets even colder.
I don't know if I can possibly get much colder. I think you'll see in the forecast actually some rising temperatures, and that's good because it's been bitterly cold. I don't ever remember a snow like this with temperatures so cold, but see, they're getting ready for it. They continue to. They've got a snow train behind me that's getting set to venture out here. And still, what's amazing here on US Route 1 on City Avenue is the traffic. Let's take a look at this batch of cars to see if they make it up the road, and it does look like they are. Well, good morning, Dawn and Steve. This is an amazing storm. Now, we might not have gotten the Super Bowl in Philadelphia, but we certainly have the Super Bowl of weather here that we're dealing with. And I'm just trying to figure out what's happening with these sleet pellets. It looks like they're coalescing together as some of them are clumping together. And we had one area here that was shoveled, just to give you an idea of the sleet accumulation that we have seen over the last, say, half an hour or so. And notice this is all, if you take a look at it, this is all ice pellets that we've got there. There aren't any snowflakes there, and that can be very, very slippery to drive over, especially when you've got a snow base underneath. So this sleet is falling heavily at this time. One of the SEPTA trucks going by to give us a little sounding there. And one of the things that we really appreciate you doing, you're part of our weather team, part of our Earthwatch team, is sending in emails, questions, comments, what's happening in your town, what's happening in your backyard. Susan in Newcastle County was wondering how this storm compares to 1983 when we had 20 years ago a storm with almost as much snow. Well, technically still it had more snow at 21.3 inches, but this is very similar to that event. And then also Kathy in Montgomery County, as I mentioned, this is the Super Bowl of weather, so she was asking, she saw the same folks on last night that she sees on this morning. She was asking, do we ever sleep? And the answer is, during these kind of storms, not very much. And of course, we're only still dealing with the cold weather, although it is warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday, we were looking at temperatures, say, 10, 12 degrees. Now we're up at least into the 20s, and temperatures should be rising, as Glenn has showed you, with that warmer air trying to get into the mix, and temperatures up near freezing down in Cape May County. So there's actually seeing some areas turn to rain in extreme southern New Jersey. But today makes 32 of the last 35 days that we have had below normal high temperatures. So this has been an amazing string this winter, but hopefully later this week, Glenn will be showing you, of course, in a few minutes the 5-day forecast, but later this week, a little preview for you. We should have, hooray, temperatures in the 40s, and I don't think a 40-degree reading will have ever felt so warm as it will by the time we get to it a little bit later on. Be careful, not nearly as much traffic as we have seen, say, yesterday in the afternoon and in the evening when the traffic was really amazing. People still on the streets, so people are thankfully heeding our warnings, and there are just a very few vehicles, and most vehicles that we do see are four-wheel drive. One good thing, at least the wind seems to have calmed down a little bit. Been checking it with my handheld anemometer the last couple of minutes, and it's dropped down to about 5 miles an hour. So at least for the time being, the winds have calmed down a little bit here along City Avenue. Steve and Dawn?
All right, thanks, Rick. That's good news. The wind's dying down a little bit.
And in answer to the question, do we ever sleep? We're going to take a 2-minute nap now.
George Washington's been up there for 170 years now. It's the first civic monument ever dedicated to the first president, and he's never looked better than he did tonight on this beautiful evening. It was fabulous to be here, but if you didn't make it, here's the next best thing. Let's show you some of the sights and sounds from just minutes ago when the fireworks went off, a spectacular fireworks display. This could be the picture in Maryland come tomorrow morning. Old Man Winter has dumped nearly 2 feet of snow on the south. Now it's headed our way. Good evening, I'm Kirk Clyatt. Coming up on Fox 45 News at 10, we'll have the latest on the winter storm. It's almost more like being in the Sierra Nevada of California than in the city of Baltimore. Look at this, in a relatively sheltered area here on TV Hill, the drifts are now more than knee-deep in some locations. The question is, as Lori alluded to, is this storm going to top the blizzard of '96?
All you need to know is that you're going to bring your kids to work.
That's right. Bring your kids. Have as
much.
If
I can bring my dog to work, you can bring your child to work.
Have as much fun as we are, that's for sure. We'll be back with our friends from Legg Mason. Give us some insight on what's going to happen next in this crazy market. It can't be any crazier than this show. Bye! That's next. Fox 45 Morning News. Looks like temperatures are warming up. Joy and I share one screen. Again, this is a great thing. You know, it's amazing. Women have certain powers. Did you know that, Joy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Like, for instance, I know a number of women probably in my life would have liked to have had the power that you have. All you have to do, let's see if this works, is snap your fingers and I'll disappear.
Oh, can we do that again? I love that.
And John Brown says I could use it as the weather pointer. So this is something you've never...
I won't drop it. You've never seen before on television.